Hey guys, welcome to Creativity Level Zero. I'm Steve.
And I'm Jim.
Thanks for joining us. So here we are on like day
Week 5.
3000 3,476 of quarantine
It
with I don't
feels
know
like
how
that.
many else. Yeah.
Yeah. It's I think it's week 5 or 6 actually, maybe 6.
Yeah, it might be week 5 or 6. Yeah, I don't know how much longer this is gonna last.
Have you seen that
Um,
movie Groundhog Day?
I have a long time ago. So if you're
Oh.
gonna like ask me specifics about it,
No, I won't.
I
I
don't
won't. I won't.
remember, but I remember the premise, which is like
Yes.
everyone keeps reliving the same day over and over
Yes.
again or something. Yeah.
Yes,
What,
that
what
is how it feels. You wake up in the morning, you're just like, "Oh my god, it's quarantine day again."
feeling like P. Diddy.
That's a Kesha reference for those
Yes.
millennials out there. Also today, I woke up and I ran out of my regular socks. So that's because somebody didn't do the wash. They just kind of just kept chucking
Who's
them.
somebody? Who else is there?
Well, it's me. That's pretty much it.
Acceptance is the first step of recovery, Jim.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, normally I have some semblance of a laundry schedule. It's in my head. It sort of goes like you open the drawer and you're like, I got a week left, and then you're like, I got 2 days left, and then you're like, I need to do laundry today.
I used to have that issue. Um, you know, when I would wear just when I would run out of socks and underwear is when I would have to start doing laundry, or at
Yeah.
least thinking.
Thinking about doing it. Yeah.
But now that I pretty much almost, except for underwear again, wear the same thing every day.
I mean, the thing is with
It's like it never needs to get done. I don't know.
I know, and the thing is with guys, I can only speak from that side of the house here.
Sure.
If you run out of underwear, it's okay to just wear your shorts and just forget it. It's too late. Those shorts are now underwear too.
Just screw it. Just walk around naked.
Yeah, I'm not that comfortable because I think you remember my house. There's windows on like both sides,
Oh,
so
okay.
people always looking into your place.
Do you have people staring at you from across the way?
Especially with the quarantine, yeah.
Yeah.
They sit out on their porches and they look around. They're like, oh, it's
Old
looking
ladies
cute.
with binoculars peeking
No,
through
no,
the
no, no,
sights.
no. That was the old apartment. You're thinking old apartment,
Oh yeah. Okay.
which was also weird. We had I could bring up a story about that old apartment that was driving me freaking crazy. Were the
Okay.
birds in the morning? So I lived
Birds. Okay.
on the ninth floor,
Uh-huh.
and the way my apartment was set up was I had a porch, which was always, first off, always really precarious, like really scary, because it was like concrete right above someone else's porch, and they just had concrete slabs, and
Okay.
my concrete was chipped, so like little broken pieces would just fall down every day, like just falling off.
I was
So
gonna say I don't remember this
yeah,
porch. I
because
don't
I
ever hung
rarely
out
use
on this
it.
porch.
Yeah, I rarely use it because of the fear factor. And so there would, in the summer or the spring, whenever, these birds would come, and these birds, they knew how to get to me. They would fly up to my bedroom window, and they'd
Uh-huh.
go "Tit, tit, 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 tit," on the window, and then when I'd look, they go chip 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 chip, and then
Do they
I would.
want food? Is that what
They
they
just
like?
wanted to hang.
They just wanted
So
to hang.
so I would go to the window and like scare them off, but then
Oh,
they somehow, like, these birds, because I lived there like 5 years, they evolved. They're generational, like, evolutions, and one.
they taught their kids how to annoy this one guy.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. And one of those generations figured out that I can't actually get them from my window. And so they just sat there like an inch out from where I could reach when I try to brush them away. Like, get out of here. And they'd be like, chirp, 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 chirp from the. So
they just wanted you to embrace your inner Snow White.
I know. Honestly, if I took the screen off, I swear they would fly in. Like they really wanted to get in. And
You
the
wouldn't want to
word.
be like Birdman, just have a bunch of birds
No,
all around you.
no, not these birds. These were
Pets. No.
these were like the sparrow type of birds and the morning dove. Oh, the morning doves. Oh, brrr, brrr, right outside. Like 5:30 in the morning, right? It's that time period in the morning where it's like you shouldn't get up yet, but if you get up now, you can't go back to sleep for like 45 minutes before work.
I would say I feel sorry for you, but you haven't experienced dealing with woodpeckers. The house has a tin roof.
Woodpeckers?
Woodpeckers, yes. And for some reason, they decided, let me try and peck through this tin roof. It sounded like I was in a war. It was a machine.
God. Where were you?
This was in Alaska.
Oh my God.
in a cabin in the woods. So, I mean, the whole cabin was made out of wood except for the roof, which was just like a tin, like a sheet metal.
Okay.
Yeah. Of tin. And what's it called? Yeah, these woodpeckers would just land on it and just, they're like 50 times per minute. It's insane. And they would do it at 4 a.m. Oh my God, it would be the worst.
Well, how did you stop it? Like, did you throw something at the ceiling?
I didn't stop it. My neighbor stopped it because it was
pellet
so
gun
loud.
or something.
It was so loud that it was waking up my neighbor.
Wow.
And I just see him like just kick his door open and just naked with just boxers on, a gun in his hand. House. Like, what is happening?
Did he shoot at the woodpeckers?
Yeah, he shot the woodpecker down.
He got it.
Yeah, he got the woodpecker.
Wow.
He's an avid hunter.
Nice shot. Yeah.
He got that woodpecker. Well, I never had to worry about that woodpecker.
Oh my gosh.
From waking up thinking it was a war scene to being an actual war.
To being in the scene.
Yeah.
Were you worried that he'd miss and like hit your window?
No, because I ended up like running to him. And I was like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. Jeez.
No, Steve, I'm tired of that woodpecker. This is 3 days in a row. I've been walking up. This woodpecker, I've had it.
Wait, so it was still banging when you guys were like outside? It wasn't scared.
Yeah, it was still banging. Yeah, no, I didn't care.
Wasn't scared. Oh my God. What about one of those like owl thingies?
What
owl statues?
An owl statue? I got to get on my roof to put an owl statue.
Oh yeah, yeah. I did. I tried that idea. I printed out a picture of an owl and I stuck it on my window. For those who are thinking about this, it doesn't work. Doesn't work. And
the other find like a owl statue or a stuffed owl. No,
yeah. And the other thing that doesn't work that I thought would work is birds of prey noises. Like I had hawk calls from my phone that I would play, and the birds, they just loved it. You play it and they perk up and they're dancing, remembering the times being chased by falcons or whatever. But we had that issue mainly because there were some White Walkers in the building who love.
In case people haven't watched the previous episode,
got to go back and watch it.
You got to explain it again.
No, they got to go back and watch it. I can't speak twice in the same time.
You're gonna use.
All right. So these just older people who lived in my building, right. They loved feeding birds, and for people who haven't lived with older folk, they love getting up early too. So they loved waking up at 5:30 to feed the birds. And that was the problem. And I didn't realize it until one day I'm just out on my porch. I'm just looking around. I'm like, what is going on here? And then you see the old ladies come out with the bird food and they put it out and the birds all fly. And I'm like, this is it. This is the issue. So I just asked her to not put the bird food out. And yeah, it was way better.
Did she stop?
I mean, I didn't watch her, but the bird problem stopped. Like it wasn't as bad. Like when I'm telling you it was bad, it was as if all the birds in the area came here. Like they were just all there. And birds come with another problem. Bird poop. And bird poop is everywhere. Over the cars. Don't ever get a blue car. The blue cars got ravaged. Ravaged. It was like the birds would fly over my car and be like, black, nah. Blue, boom. And then just pounded it. Oh.
Yeah, I hate always parking my car underneath a tree.
Ugh.
Because in my parking lot by my house, there's only a few trees that are by the
Yeah,
parking
I
space.
parked under them. It's terrible.
Yeah, and so whenever you park under them, all the cars around you, clean of bird poop. No, there's like your entire front of your car is just covered
Ah.
in bird poop, and then you start getting spiders on your car. I'm like, oh
Yes.
my goodness.
Yes. So those mini spiders is the reason I don't park under trees. And this is a whole nother story I could tell you about figuring out about these spiders, because you've been in my car. I generally keep it pretty clean. And
Okay.
even my old car was like semi-clean. I wouldn't say it's like perfect, but
Well, no, you don't even let me eat Taco Bell.
that's true. No eating in the car. Now, if it was Domino's, maybe, but
Oh.
but yeah, so one day there was like little spider webs on my windshield on the inside, and I was like, what the hell is going on here? So I Googled it, and they said that like these little spiders, like they don't live in trees, but they're in trees, and then they hang down by their web, they throw their little webs down, and it'll latch onto stuff. And that's how they travel. Like the wind will blow them and they'll grab stuff. So they got onto your car and they slip into the cracks and they just like live in there and eventually die. All right.
Right.
So I heard that and immediately paranoia sets in. I'm just like, I can't drive. There are spiders in this car. All right. I'm driving on the highway and a spider does one of these.
Right.
Right in front of me. And the thing is, it takes you like half a second to realize what's going on, because as it's going down, it's blurry because like you're focused on the road.
Close.
Yeah, and it's blurry. And then as soon as you figure out what it is, you're like, holy crap! I was flailing, swerving.
Oh my god.
Yeah, didn't kill the spider, but I can tell you that if you have spider webby things in your car, it's from those tiny baby spiders, and they will attack you. So be on the lookout.
They will attack. That's how I got my first car accident, actually.
By a baby spider attacking you?
It was almost the exact same scenario where I was driving along.
Wait,
and
did you say first accident?
my first, yes. Oh,
Shaking my head here. Okay.
People have multiple accidents.
Yeah,
Okay.
crazy people. Or I could throw in some stereotypes in there too, but yes, crazy
wow.
people.
Okay. Probably shouldn't go there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was driving to McDonald's. So
That's a change of pace over here. What was Taco Bell too far?
No, I was driving to work for McDonald's.
Oh, like when we were working at
When we
McDonald's.
were in high school. So I was just like when I was first starting to drive. So my first accident was like the first year I was able to drive.
Oh my god, is that traumatizing?
No, because it wasn't really an accident. I'll go into it.
Okay.
But I was driving. I was at a red light, and all of a sudden, a spider is just crawling on the dashboard in front of me.
Now, is this a baby one, medium, big? What's the size of
It
this?
was pretty big. It looked pretty big.
Like,
a
would
100-pound spider.
would you smash it with your hand size?
So I tried to. I was like, oh my god. So I tried to brush it with my hand.
Brush it, not smack.
Brush it. Yeah.
So this
was
big. This is a bigger spider. Because small spiders, I'm perfectly fine with just crushing and being like, it's better dead under my hand than alive everywhere in the car. But brushing it off as if that thing's a mother. You're just like, whoa.
Yes. Well, this thing didn't want to die. So I tried to like whack it off, and then it's stuck to my hand now. And it's
get it off!
It's trying to crawl back up its web.
Oh my god.
So I start like, instead I brush it on my pant leg.
Rookie mistake.
No, now it's on my.
Now it's on your.
Crawling everywhere.
That's right. Rookie mistake. Never put it on your body.
Yeah, I just start brushing my legs like crazy. Lo and behold, I was freaking out so much about the spider, my foot came off the brake.
Sure.
And I was at a red light, so I was dealing with it, and everything felt like slow motion, where I realized that I didn't have my foot on the brake as I'm freaking out. So I go and try to slam on the brake. Instead, I slammed on the gas.
Oh my god!
Just bam, right into the car in front of me.
But they probably just got a little bump.
Yeah, it was just like a tiny bump. You were going like 3 miles an hour at that
Yeah,
point.
yeah, yeah.
You know.
That's why we have bumpers.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the guy comes out of his car, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't
Yeah.
believe this just happened. And I just like roll down my window, and he comes out and he's like, what are you thinking? Were you on the phone or something? What's the matter with you, kid? I just poked my head out and I said, no, there was a spider on me.
And he was like, yeah, no problem.
He just looked disappointed, shook his head, didn't say anything, and went back into his car.
Oh
and just
my
drove
god. I would have completely understood that. If you said that, I would have been like, no problem. No
No
problem.
problem. Happens all the time.
Happens all the time. Your life is more valuable than my bumper.
Let me just get all your info first.
I got hit, and if that's called an accident, then yes, I was in an accident also. Where
Aha! How many of those?
I was in two.
Oh, see?
Two.
Oh, okay.
I was hit in both, but I mean, like, you can't be a perfect driver all the time. Like, I
Right.
can't be dodging crazy drivers at the same time as dodging secondary crazy drivers. Like, and that's what happened in this situation where I was on the Parkway going north towards like New York. So there's like, you know, that area like right before the bridge where there's like,
Yeah.
it's before you get to Staten Island, but there's like 50 lanes essentially. And
Yeah,
it's just like a free for all. There's like 50 lanes. The signs.
There's a merge in the
That's right.
middle,
There's a merge in there.
and then now there's a diverge.
Yeah, it's a merge, diverge, and the signs are all backwards. They're just like
Yeah.
straight for New York, and like this side for like Route 1, this side for Route 9. But then like when you get in the lane you need to be in, the signs shift, so you got to shift. So like
Yeah.
the whole place is a mess. All right, and I'm driving. So the guy in front of me, but to the right. So he's in the slower lane, but in front of me. Is driving. I'm driving. All right. This is crazy person number 1. All right.
Okay.
The guy in front of him hard slams on the brake. Like no reason. I didn't really see what was happening, but it was a hard slam. Guy in front of him hard slams. So he swerves into my lane. No slam. Just swerve. Just swerve, right? But I'm okay because I'm paying attention, so I slam. Right? We're doing okay. For whatever reason, he's not paying attention to the guy in front of him. So like, you know when you switch lanes really fast, you got to like then immediately brake to get to the right speed. He didn't do that. So the guy in front of him braked. So the real guy in front of me braked at the same time. Crazy guy swerved. Swerved. So he ended up, the guy in front got hit by crazy guy. I, thank God, braked in time because I saw this crap happening, like left and right. I was just like, oh my gosh, just brake. So I brake. Guy behind me was tailgating like close, didn't expect a hard brake. So like hits me. So then I hit the guy in front of me, and the guy in front of me was already hit the guy in front of him. So it was just and then the guy behind him hit. So it was a 5-car hit a Rooney. Yeah. So when this happened, and now we're all bumper to bumper, so I couldn't move because I was wedged, and we're in the middle of like that place. All right, so cars are just going 80, just right. Guy in front of me.
By the way, the speed limit on that bridge
65.
is 40.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was 65.
Lower. So it's 65 before and after the bridge.
You're coming in a little quiet. Say it again.
I said before and after the bridge is 65, but on the bridge is 40.
Oh, yeah, I'm right before the bridge. Still all the merging area. Yeah, but either way, crazy fast. Right, guy in front of me, the crazy guy who started all this, gets out of the car, and I'm like, oh my god, cars are literally like on both sides, right? And this guy gets out of the car and he comes to me and he's like on the window. He's like, hey man, it looks like we didn't really get a big hit here. Like, are we cool? And I'm like, I'm not getting out of my car. So why don't we just like do this on the side? So while we're talking, front guy peels off. He's gone. All right. He's gone. It's front guy was definitely hit the worst. Front guy, like you saw his bumper was messed up.
Right.
So the guy in front of me, I was like, yeah, let's just do it on the side, all right? He's like, okay. The front guy peels off. This guy's like, okay, let's go over there. Gets in his car, peels off. All right. So I'm obviously like trying to remember the license plate, but I'm like W6. I'm like, oh, that's it. So then guy behind me gets out and is talking to guy behind him, number 4 and 5.
Right.
They do some conversation, and then car 4 comes up to me and he's like, hey man, let's exchange information. And I gave him my registration or whatever. I guess it's the right, or license or whatever. Yeah, so right.
The insurance card.
Yeah, whatever. Like they wrote down whatever they need to do, whatever. And I said, did you hit me hard? And he's like, nah, you can't even tell. And I was like, okay, I'm not writing down your stuff. I don't care then. And so then
really?
I left. Yeah, I left the 2 of them because I was so scared for my life being in that situation. Those cars were like, and for people who haven't driven on that road, you're sitting in the middle of a highway, and the cars in Jersey, for people who haven't driven in Jersey, they don't see an accident and swerve around. They try to cut in front because they know there's no traffic in front of the accident. So they're trying to cut in front of me, like right after my car, to go faster. And I was so scared. I was like, I'm getting out of here. Forget it. If it's fine, it's fine. Guy in front of me said it was fine. I'm fine. Let's get out. So yeah, that was a scary experience. No spider, just Jersey drivers.
So no police were called or anything.
No.
Everyone just drove off.
No, yeah. The guy in the front, the guy in the first car looked like he was in an accident. It turned out later my car just had the paint on the bumper chip off, and so I just bought some like $5 paint, and it wasn't even the right green, but it was just close enough. It was like painted on, just so it wouldn't rust is all it was.
Right.
Yeah. But I'd say we were pretty decent drivers for the area we live in.
Yes.
Yeah.
For that exact reason, so I've had something like that happen. You know how motorcycles, they try to go in between?
Which is illegal in New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New York. But it is legal in California. Just letting people know that.
All these people are in New Jersey. And so this guy decided to go into the middle, and I guess...
you broke up. Go into the middle and what?
He went into the middle of multiple cars.
Oh, between multiple cars.
Yeah, and then his like handlebar or something just chipped a whole piece of my side mirror.
Your mirror?
My side mirror just off.
So this guy's just like, bam!
So I was like, it happened in no time at all.
You didn't even know.
Yeah, all of a sudden you hear like this. I was like, "What the?" I looked to the right, and there's a motorcycle. I'm like, "What the heck?" And he just you just see my mirror fly off. He just bolts. He just because it was green light.
Oh my god!
And I was like, "Oh my god!" Like that guy just destroyed my mirror and just bolted, and there was no way I could do anything in time.
Good thing you have the car cam now.
Yeah, so that's what I was gonna say. So ever since then, I've gotten like a dash. No more. You know, even when cops pull you over and you're like, no.
You're breaking up a bit. Say it again. When cops pull over.
When cops pull you over and then you say, no, I definitely turned red.
Dude, every time you talk, it's like, no, I definitely bloop 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 red.
Yeah, I think it's getting hot again. The computer. Yeah.
Why don't you blow on it? That'll. Did you try turning it off and on again? Did that?
I don't think that's how it works.
No. So you're saying when you talk to the cops?
Yeah. So when I talk to the cops, and they try to give you a ticket for going through a red light, and you say no, I definitely have it. I definitely went through in time. You have this dash cam to back you up.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, so
if you want to get ice for the laptop, I can always keep the masses distracted.
All right, yeah, go
Yeah.
keep the math.
So I'll give people while Steve goes to get some ice for his laptop. So fun fact, Steve doesn't have an ice pack at his place, which is unbelievable because ice packs can be used for everything. Obviously for burns and when you get hurt and everything, but for people who buy cheap laptops and try to stream over the internet, ice packs are great because then you can put the ice pack on the laptop and that's your cooling system. And like I actually have a netbook. Oh, it's not here. Otherwise, I'd hold it up. And that netbook is small. And anytime you buy a small device, they don't come with fans. And you'll notice your regular laptop or your computer has a fan. And whenever you're like watching a video or something, or like playing a game or whatever, the fan will kick on, and you're like, "Oh, that's loud." You know, it's to stop it from overheating, and it works better. But the little netbooks and the Chromebooks and all the tiny tablets, they don't have the fan, and so sometimes they'll overheat. Poor design or whatever. And if you got an ice pack, slap it on there.
That's right. So hopefully that makes things better.
I hope so. Yeah. So with the dash cam, I was going to talk about just Jersey drivers in general because I think there's something to be said for this area of the country. This area of the country has, I would say, bad drivers, but they do at some point in their life, they've known how to drive. Like, we have a pretty good driving education system out here. I feel like you have to get a certain amount of hours to drive. There's driving ed classes, all that stuff. But the people who are on the road act as if it's their first time on the road. And they really...
I don't know. I've driven in...
You've driven where?
In a lot of places in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And I find New Jersey to be the best out of all the places.
No!
Yes.
New Jersey drivers are the best?
Yes. One, because they follow general conventions typically. That the left lane is the fast lane.
That's true.
You know, if you're not going fast, then you need to be in the middle or the right.
True.
You know?
Well, we tailgate here. That's why. That's why that's the convention. Because the Jersey drivers, if you're in the fast lane and you're not going 80 or 90, somebody's up your butt.
Yes. Well, that needs to tell you need to move to the right.
That's how Steve drives. He's like, if I can see you in your rearview mirror, you're going too slowly.
Exactly.
So where was the worst then in the countries
The worst was definitely Florida.
Florida. I'm told they're the worst in a lot of categories, but I was surprised to hear driving be the worst.
What? Anybody could tell you Florida drivers.
You just cut out the whole time. Florida drivers
are literally the worst.
Okay.
So one, people will go slow in the left or the right because how it works here, what reinforces that left lane is the fast lane is that we have jug handles.
Oh, thank goodness.
So everybody's forced to go to the right.
Explain that to people who aren't used to it.
Okay, so jug handles are a way to make a left by going past an intersection and then looping back around into the intersection and then making a left once your light works, you know.
So you make that so Steve's point is you make it from the right lane as you would any other turn, but you have to pass the intersection to make your left turn.
Correct.
But you do it from the right lane.
From the right lane. So over there, it doesn't matter if you're in the left or the right, because every lane is pretty much a turn lane.
Oh, so they turn from the left.
Yes. So the middle lane's the
middle's the fastest.
Which is awful. No.
That's the worst because that's where everybody gets to when they're merging, and that's the worst.
Exactly. So I probably wanted to pull my hair out several times. I'm like, everywhere is slow.
And Florida does have a disproportionate amount of older people there as well.
Right.
And I don't want to be ageist, if that's even a word, but I think we can all agree that driving is a skill that you start off at terrible, and then you get better at, and then as you lose your motor skills, you then become terrible again.
Right.
So the older you are, past that age where you can't see or whatever, don't want you on the road.
Yeah, exactly. And So it's not only that their lifestyle down there is way more laid back and easygoing, just uncaring, which reminds me of another story.
Okay.
When I lived in Florida, we went to a restaurant, and we were like, there was like only maybe 4 families in this whole restaurant. We get
Okay.
there, and we order our food, and then we wait an hour for anything to show up. We're just
Okay.
waiting for an hour.
You didn't say anything to them.
Well, you know, the people we were with were from Florida, and they say, "Oh no, this is typical."
Oh, they took you there.
Yeah. They took
Oh,
us
so then
there.
you can't complain or say anything. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And we were like, "What's taking so long for our food?" And they say, "Oh no, this is Florida. You know, everything's much
Does the
slower."
European experience in the States go to Florida?
Exactly. That's exactly it. And um, so I was like, "Okay, but I'm kind of hungry."
Did they bring out bread or anything?
No, they didn't bring out anything. It wasn't an Italian
Okay.
joint, you know. It was like an American style place.
What did you order?
I think a burger,
Like
maybe.
standard? Like you didn't order
Like
anything like
standard.
special?
No, definitely not. And what's it called? So an hour and a half goes by, and finally the people.
You just cut out
Maybe
that whole time. Finally, the people.
I said finally the people we were with decided, okay, maybe we should ask someone
Oh
about
yeah.
our.
Mm-hmm.
And so we call another waiter, and we haven't even seen our waitress. We don't even like. We ordered our food an hour.
Yeah.
And what's going on? And they said, "Oh, yeah, I think your waitress just quit. She just upped and quit and left, and no one decided to tell us. And so they're like, yeah. So I don't even think she put in your kitchen.
Oh my gosh.
So I guess let me take your order." I was like, "Oh,
No, this should be. It should be on the house for that experience.
it should be."
So what happened?
I don't remember if they did it. I feel like they gave us some discount of some sort, but I don't know.
Interesting.
So,
So I have a.
yeah, so we ended up reordering and then just.
Oh,
getting our
and the food was good. I'm actually wondering if it's your earphones that aren't charged or something. Because
No, definitely not.
okay, they're good.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you need to get one of these old-fashioned wired ones. You know, big and ugly.
No, I think we had that issue with the wired headset too.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's right. You did have a wired headset previously.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Florida, your parents were there, so you probably have a pretty good understanding of what the people are like down there. You were
Right.
in Alaska, so you know what those people are like. You're in New Jersey, so you know what they're like. You've been to Pennsylvania. You've been to New York. And you were in Canada, at least in these places long enough to like meet people enough to like feel the vibe. Were there any other states that you were in long enough to kind of get to know what the people were like?
Yeah, I lived in Boston.
Boston, that's right. Yeah, you were doing Boston. So what
Yeah, I
were
lived
they
in
like
Boston.
up there? Do you have a Boston
Uh,
accent when you came back? Did
do
you come
I
back
have?
with an
No.
accent?
Definitely not. So where I lived in Boston was this hotel right next to the hospital.
Oh.
So it was like your old apartment where everyone ventilators.
Uh,
Yeah. But it was quiet, and that's what I liked.
yeah. I love quiet. Yeah.
And it was by the train station, so it made things easy. And it was close to work, so I got to walk to work every day.
And I heard the people in Boston are nice. Boston. We should say Boston when we talk
In
about
Boston,
it. Yeah, we don't want to offend them by calling their city the wrong way.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, I only know it for, and I've been there a few times. I have a cousin that lives there. She actually went to the college there. I think one of your friends went to Boston University or Boston College or one of those, right?
We had 2 people from high school.
Yeah.
Go to Boston University.
Yeah, I think that's exactly where my cousin went, and then she just liked the area and just stayed. And when I was there to visit their place, they were really big on seafood.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of interesting to me because, like, when I think about the beaches in the northern East Coast U.S., I don't think of nice beaches. I think of freezing water. And like, but I guess that's good for certain types of fish and food.
Right,
You
right.
know? And
Yeah, I loved living in Boston. I was, if I didn't like New Jersey, I could totally find living in Boston.
yeah.
Um,
In the city or like the surrounding areas?
Anywhere. Yeah. Well, the city's
It's an
weird
old
because
city.
yeah, it doesn't feel like a New York
No.
where there's tall skyscrapers everywhere. There is a part of it that has some tall
Yeah,
buildings,
like a
but
business district.
yeah, everything is still considered part of Boston, but feels more suburban. Um, it's sort of I don't know how best to describe it,
Well,
but
they have
yeah,
cobblestone roads. They have cobblestone roads there in
they do.
Boston.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
and
one
the
of,
port is an awesome place to hang out. That's right by the downtown area. I
so
hung
I
out there.
so I like that Boston and I think Baltimore did it also, and maybe even North Carolina. They had these like port areas that they just built up, where I guess
Right.
like they're not doing really the whole Navy Yard type of situation. Maybe they're not merchant travel is not as big there or whatever, but they made it into like, restaurants and like lounges and, a nice outdoor area that everybody could go to. So it's
Right.
nice. They kind of should do that in Jersey. I guess they kind of do. The Pier Village area, they kind of did that.
Yeah, yeah, that's more of a built up place, but yeah, nothing like that. So, the old part of Philly,
Yeah, yeah.
that's pretty much how all of Boston feels.
Oof.
But I like that. I like the
Oh,
it
that's
feels
right.
more like a park, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Well, I've been to Boston a few times. I do like the city. Yeah, I'm not big on the old school type of cities. I like mine very modern and like boxy and like
Right,
sci-fi
right.
movie. But I get you too because like for people who haven't been in New York City, it is a little much in terms of just everything. There is a lot. And, living in Philly, I felt like Philly was manageable with like where things were and the scope of the city, the size, like how far I could walk.
Right.
I could technically walk anywhere I needed to in Philly. I never took the subway.
Yeah.
But in New York, you can't walk anywhere. You have to subway.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could walk. I've walked once from Times Square to Little Italy.
Mm,
It's a lot. It
that's a
was
lot. Hmm.
40 blocks or something.
Yeah, and the blocks in New York are is the blocks or the avenue? I think the avenues are long and the blocks are short.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
avenues are long.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
avenues are longer. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, it's nice. I guess you and me are due for a trip to New York at some point too. We haven't been there in a while. I went.
Yeah. Yeah.
I went pretty. Actually, I went with family and stuff. I would say is different than like just meandering around.
Right, right.
Yeah, maybe we'll do like
Yeah.
a day trip up there. They have good dim sum in New
Dim
York.
sum. Wow,
Yeah.
that's fun. Same thing.
Well, we didn't. Well, we'll have to save best foods for another episode
Right,
because we
right.
definitely don't have enough time to get into the best foods. But dim sum's up there, I think, on our list of foods we enjoy. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah,
yeah.
Jim was the one who introduced me to it.
And I got introduced by a friend as well. It's
That's
just
right.
that's exactly how coronavirus spreads. Is this this chain? You guys go out to eat restaurants. One person comes with you. They get it.
That's
Take
right.
their friends
And
and
they start
family.
spreading it. Yeah.
So what do you think about and since I brought up food, I might as well ask you and you live in Jersey. In Jersey, there's a restaurant called Perkins. Have you eaten
Okay,
at
yeah.
Perkins?
I've eaten at Perkins, yeah.
And you've eaten at IHOP.
Yep.
So which do you like better and why? Or do you not care?
I like IHOP better. Well, so Perkins is more than a breakfast place. But every time I go to Perkins, I just get.
Yeah, same. I put them exactly in the same category of restaurant because they both serve like hamburgers and other meals. Like they even serve steak, I think. But you're never ordering that. You're never gonna go to an IHOP or a Perkins and be like, yeah, let me get the filet and $40 or whatever it is.
It's like a Denny's or anything.
Yeah,
like that.
Denny's. Yeah, Denny's is in a
Yeah.
different. Denny's is way lower than IHOP. That is, Denny's is.
But Denny's is open late.
Well, when we were at college, I would go to Trenton a lot, and my sister was at TCNJ. I had a few friends at TCNJ, and we'd always go to Denny's after midnight because that was the only place open.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like the Waffle House of the Northeast. Is the Denny's?
I've had a few drunken nights in Denny's.
Denny's. I forget what their meal is called. I only got the same thing there. Grand Slam, it might have been called.
Yeah, the Slammer. Or whatever.
Yeah, whatever. Yeah, it was just like all the breakfast food on one plate. Like this. Give me that. Yeah. So which do you like better between the two?
So I like IHOP better than Perkins, just because if you're gonna main breakfast food, I'd rather it be like a breakfast restaurant, and IHOP is more of a breakfast restaurant than Perkins, so they have more breakfast selection than Perkins.
Right. I agree.
Yeah.
So,
but Perkins has these weird bowls. You know how the KFC bowl?
Yeah, I never had a Perkins bowl.
Okay, well, the KFC bowl is mashed potatoes, chicken.
Mashed potatoes, corn, chicken, cheese.
Well, yeah,
Gravy.
imagine that, but all your breakfast foods that you want inside of a bowl, and they serve that at.
I don't want to imagine that. I don't
Oh,
want to.
yeah, so
Oh
good.
my god!
And
Do you then put syrup on it or ketchup?
No, what? No.
You don't put either?
No, why would you do
Oh, well, because if you put like
No, it doesn't
French
have-
toast sticks in my bowl,
that? No, I'm talking about like, it's just eggs mixed with sausage and hash browns. and
like a Jimmy Dean
bacon.
bowl, like a Jimmy Dean bowl.
I don't know what a Jimmy Dean.
It's
bowl.
just they sell in the frozen section for like $2. It's just exactly what
Oh.
you're saying. It's just literally
Yeah.
eggs and bacon and hash browns mixed all in there, and then I
Yeah,
throw
exactly.
ketchup on it, and that's it.
No ketchup.
Well, people throw hot sauce. I throw ketchup. Yeah.
But yeah, and then they cover it with cheese.
Yeah,
and stuff.
with cheese,
It feels
too.
like- yeah, it feels
Okay.
like one of those KFC bowls. But I always feel bad because restaurants these days, they put the calorie number right below,
Oh,
and
that's
that
right.
one is over 2,000.
No. Oh,
I couldn't eat for a whole
brutal.
day after eating this.
Oh my gosh. Oh, I could tell you about TGI Fridays after we finish this IHOP Perkins conversation.
Okay.
I agree with you. I do think IHOP's better. In fact, I'd like to consider myself a pancake connoisseur,
Oh,
a
wow.
person who just only eats the best pancakes. Maybe a pancake snob is a better word.
Jeez.
And similar.
Have that as a title underneath your name.
Yeah, Jim, pancake
Jim,
connoisseur.
pancake snob.
It's not. Well, I'm a
Oh,
pork bun. I'm a pork bun snob then too, because I have eaten a
It's
lot
gonna
of
get
pork
longer
buns.
and longer. It's gonna be
Right,
a whole-
pancake, pork bun snob.
You said
But
you were a cookie connoisseur before too.
that's
so-
right, cookie connoisseur. Throw that in there. But yeah, the pancakes at IHOP are really good if you get them fresh. And at Perkins, it's like, okay, let me say it a different way.
You didn't say
When you're
so.
ordering pancakes at Perkins, you can pick a side, and they ask you as one of the sides, do you want a muffin? No. For most people, you never want a muffin with your pancakes. And
You
that's
don't want dry? No.
right, and that's because their pancakes are subpar. So they're like, maybe we can get them with the blueberry muffin. Get 'em. Similar to how, like, when you go to Panera, I've only been to Panera like a few times because I'm not a Panera fan, but I guess I hang out with people who are better than me. They got to eat at
Sure.
Paneras. They can't eat at Taco Bells like the rest of us.
Right. They try to be healthy.
They're like, oh yeah, I'm going to Panera. Give me avocado and cheese and bacon all on my sandwich. But at Panera, you order the sandwich, and no joke, the first time I went, I ordered the sandwich, and the guy's like, do you want a side of bread? And I was like,
Yeah, they do that.
why would I ever say yes to that? Like,
I'm
I'm eating the
for
bread.
sandwich.
Just put my sandwich just make the sandwich.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, that's the IHOP thing. For Fridays, when you mentioned calories, right? So back when I was younger, like high
cool.
school, maybe pre-high school,
Uh-huh.
around maybe freshman year of high school, I was a little bit of a chubby kid, and at the time I wanted to lose weight, and the big thing was like Weight Watchers, and my parents went on Weight Watchers, and the concept behind it was like calories equaled points because calories are too hard for people to understand. So they're like, instead of 4 digits, let's make it 2 digits, right? So instead of 2,000 calories,
single digits.
well, yeah, but they'd be like, okay, based on your height and weight, you could have like 15 points today. And that was their way of being like 2,000 calories is 15 points, right? Yeah. And you like create and assemble your meals based off it, right? And I remember they had this thing where you could save points. They called it saving, where if you don't eat all your points for the day you're in, you can then have the points in the next day. Kind of like that's not how it works, but that's how Weight Watchers works.
Biologically, that shouldn't be how it works.
It's probably worse for you to cycle between low and high, but yeah. So that's in there. That's how it worked in Weight Watchers, right? So I remember my points were somewhere under 20 because at Fridays, the meal that I always ordered, the rack of ribs, which you see me get all the time, I still get it all the time.
Yeah.
The full rack ribs with the fries and the broccoli was 21 points. And I remember thinking, I can't eat this meal in a whole day. I have to now have less calories for the day before. And that's when I decided
to carry it over.
Yeah. And that's when I decided, you know what? Get rid of Weight Watchers. This is silly. This is silly.
I was going to say, it sounds like a reason for to just be eating what they want to just say, I'll just eat less points tomorrow.
That's right. And the crazy part is, like, and what ends up, it's this bad psychological effect. And having gone through it, I can tell you, it does not make Weight Watchers in particular is not helpful at all. There are ways to eat healthier, but everybody essentially has to realize, like, when you're trying to lose weight, you have to just eat less, and that sucks. But what Weight Watchers does, they try to trick you, and they're like, oh, you can still have chips. Just get the baked chips. But, like, the problem isn't the chips. The problem is that you need to have chips every day after you're done with whatever you're doing. And you build up that process of just, oh, I'm hungry, I need chips. Instead of, I shouldn't be eating at 3:30 right now. Like, I should just wait till dinner in 2 hours, you know? That's what I think you and me are a problem with, is like, if you and me see snacks out, why don't you give me, like, when we hang out, we usually have snacks. What's your go-to snacks for hangouts?
The Cheetos.
What kind of Cheetos? A lot of types.
The puffy Cheetos.
Okay.
Definitely the puffy Cheetos. Anyone who tells me crunchy Cheetos win, I'm sorry.
I'm like one of those people. I'm just trying to keep peace between the Cheetos. I'll eat puffy. I'll eat crunchy as long as somebody brings them.
Switzerland of Cheetos.
That's right. That's right. If they, you know what? If they came out with cheesier Cheetos, whatever crunchy or soft, I would pick those.
If they what? I'm sorry.
If they came out with cheesier Cheetos.
No.
Because well, right now Cheetos is just like they make the corn puff and they spray it with the cheese.
I mean, if you just want more cheese, just lick your done.
Because that's disgusting.
You eat
that's
like
disgusting.
20 Cheetos and then you just got Cheeto dust all over your fingers.
Why don't you just sprinkle Cheeto dust all over you then? But they could make the Cheeto out of cheese too if they wanted. Like, instead of cornmeal that they push through, they extrude into the poopy shaped Cheeto. Instead of that and then spraying it down with artificial cheese, they could just start with the artificial cheese and mold it into the Cheeto shape and then spray it.
You just want Cheeto dust. That's all you want to eat.
That's right. But you and me also have no self-control. Cheetos, cookies, if it's out, we will just eat them all until they're gone.
Yeah, and I am way worse than you.
Yes,
or
you
anybody
are.
else. To the point that when we do our hangouts, they buy me my own personal bag of Cheetos.
That's right.
And a bag of Cheetos for.
It's the worst. Because you keep that Cheeto, like, I know you don't have kids, but I feel like I've seen you as a father with those Cheetos. You keep those Cheetos on your lap, and you just hug them, and you're just like, oh, are you guys okay?
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. I endear those Cheetos.
Now, it's interesting because you don't usually like sweets, but you'll do cookies. But I feel like when we hang out, we actually never get desserts. And that's kind of why when I brought up the dessert conversation, you maybe haven't tried some of those desserts. But like, we never, for example, we never say, oh, you're coming over, let me get ice cream for the group. Or let me get like a cake for the group, right? Like, besides
No,
parties.
when I hang out with you, we'll go out and stuff like that.
Oh, we'll
But
go
yeah,
out. Yeah.
when I'm hosting, yeah, I'll get cookies for the group, not for me because I'm not a sweet guy.
Yeah. That's true. You only eat them once they're open.
Yes.
And then they're all, you just do whatever. Yeah.
I have a bag of untouched Oreos.
They survived quarantine. How long have they been there?
Untouched, not even open.
How long have they been there?
It's because it's a present for someone.
Oh, okay. I hope it's for me.
I can't open it.
I hope it's for me.
No. Well, it's when quarantine's done that I get to. So,
oh, okay. So
maybe it's for you, maybe it's not.
I might as well buy my own box of Oreos.
Yeah.
I do love Oreos, but I'm kind of like that where if it's sealed and I know it's sealed, I'll convince myself out of it. Like, oh, you only wanted 2 Oreos. Why open the package? Tomorrow you might not want any Oreos. But once it's open, it's completely flipped. It's like they're going to go stale unless you eat 5 a day. And we're not making pace with that. So today you're hitting 10. And you just got...
You got to make up. It's like those Weight Watchers.
That's right. And
if I eat 10 today, I don't have to eat 5.
That's right. And Oreos are like 150 calories for 2, for those who care. Yeah. So like if you eat 10, well, you'd have to eat 20 to get like a good full day's worth of Oreo calories.
Right.
Yeah, that'd be delicious. But yeah, I guess once...
I think the hard thing is that there are certain foods, like sweets and certain salty foods, that your body just keeps wanting more of. It's hard to stop eating.
Yeah.
And once you're in that mindset, it doesn't matter how full your body. Keep giving them. So yesterday I ordered pizza.
You ordered pizza.
Yeah, but pizza is one of those foods that you almost can never feel full from.
That's true. You could eat a lot of pizza.
You can eat a lot of pizza.
Because of the cheese.
I ate 3 slices of pizza.
It's not a lot of pizza.
And, well, I say 3. It was really...
You broke up.
Okay.
You said you say 3.
I say 3, but it's really 4 because 2 of them were like half pieces. How I tried to...
Okay.
3.
Okay.
And, but I was done eating and I said...
you literally cut out that whole time. You were done eating and...
I was done eating pizza, and and I wanted more, and so I was like, but I can't have 5 pieces. That's too much.
5 is too many.
Yeah, and I look at the box and I have it split up so that way there's more meals ready. So
right.
Like,
well, you have 2 meals. You have one half and then the other.
Yeah, exactly. But I tried to split the other half into 2 separate meals.
Okay.
Because for some reason, cold pizza, it doesn't have the same effect as hot pizza in that you want to keep eating.
That's true.
You're like fine just eating 2 pieces. Yeah, I'm good. 2 pieces.
Yes. So I think cold pizza is nasty. I will not eat cold pizza.
Oh, no.
The only reason I say that is because I've never been in a situation where I was unable to heat up the pizza. Now, if I was in a situation where I couldn't heat up the pizza and I had to eat it cold, I'd probably eat it. But that's never happened, ever.
Oh, no, I prefer cold pizza.
Yeah, it's disgusting. That's disgusting.
Just because, it's not like sliding. You don't have to do weird things. It's the oil is not like... Instead, it's in a coagulated... notice that it's there. Well, I was... what's it called? So, because I wanted that extra pizza, instead, I decided to snack. And I just snacked. So, I had 4 pieces of pizza, 3 pieces.
3 pieces. You had a third of the pie, let's say.
Yeah. Actually, it was half the pie.
Oh, my God.
But, so... I ended up just grabbing a jar of peanut butter and just like eating peanut butter because I want.
Oh
So
my
I felt
gosh.
like I felt sick, and I was
Oh.
like, "That's why I don't get pizza. It's because
Oh.
it's in
So
this mindset that I just need to keep eating."
there's a way around that, and I have solved that problem. I'm
You have
surprised you
solved.
didn't come to me for that.
Oh, okay. I should have said,
Yep.
"Dear, I'm having trouble saying no to a fifth slice.
Yep.
Please come to my aid."
That's right. That's when you come to the pizza connoisseur.
Oh, okay. Go.
That's
Not
right.
mentioned at the bottom.
Increase that title. So,
We really need to add those things in our next episode.
okay, I'll have them all listed under my name.
Yeah.
Um, with pizza, I have the same exact problem, and at your house, it's even worse because at your house, first off, you like regular pizza, like standard traditional Italian pizza, and I don't like the crust generally of those types of pizzas, just because they just taste like bread. So when I'm at someone else's house, if I don't know them well or I really care about them or something, like I will eat that crust, and I will have like maybe 2 slices.
Okay.
But Steve, I don't give a crap out. So I only eat not the crust, which allows you to then eat 3 real pieces instead of like 3 crusty pieces.
Right.
And
that's a big difference.
That is a big difference. And the problem that I have is, especially at your place, is you also buy pizza specifically for me. Like I do that for you. We get pizza when we're each over that we wouldn't normally order. So then I feel bad, and I'm like, I gotta have a 4th slice because Steve's not gonna eat the chicken parm pizza unless I eat it. So that's the problem. The way to solve it is you buy the frozen personal pizzas.
Oh no!
That's the solution. That's the solution. So it is a good solution, and the best one that I found that has everything I want. And let me just also say, this pizza's crap. Just putting it out there. Right? on the scales of pizza, if we were even to have a pizza scale, this is probably below what I would tolerate if I ordered pizza. Like if this came from a restaurant, and I'm using restaurant generously, if this even came from Domino's, I would have been like, dude, take this back. this can't be Domino's. Is the DiGiorno's has a personal pan pizza, but it's stuffed crust like Pizza Hut. Because if I'm going to get frozen pizza, it's got to be exactly what I like. Sure. Stuffed crust with pepperonis. So at least you got some meat. You got the stuffed crust cheese. And it's a personal size, which means you can't eat more.
Right.
So this week I almost broke down because I have 3 of those in my freezer. And
they're like, I don't want to do it.
No. I wouldn't have eaten 2. They're pretty good. I wouldn't have eaten 2. But I was like, so I had 1 already. Like I bought they're like this big.
Oh, okay.
But they're thick. It's a single serving.
Right.
And I also like to dip sauce, like put extra sauce on it. So I have like sauce that I'll put on it. So we bought quarantine food, right? Stocked up. I got 3. I had 1 already. And then a few days ago I was like, I really want pizza. It's been a while, but I don't really want that frozen pizza because like I said, it's good for what it is. If you're trying to control what you're eating, it's good. Right. But I wanted pizza. So I open up the Domino's app, of course.
Oh, no, here we go.
I'm looking through the app, and I'm like, let me get, what's the coupon? And they were like extra large Hawaiian with extra cheese, extra sauce. Okay?
The worst story ever.
So I was like, oh, it's perfect. I'll just get this extra large pie. It'll come with like 8 slices. And then, because Domino's extra large is really just a large regular pizza. Right. And I'll eat 2 slices, then I'll have a bunch of meals. I'll freeze them, whatever. Put it in the fridge. I looked at the calorie. The calorie for 1 slice was 650.
Wow.
And that was one of the Hawaiian slices. And I said to myself, that personal pan pizza is 660. And that's stuffed crust. Yeah. And this is Domino's, which is a step above frozen pizza, but is it twice the calories above it? Nah, it wasn't. So that's how I got around eating a whole extra large pie of that. But I will say, this story is not over because the next time we hang out and we order Domino's, we will get extra cheese, extra sauce. Maybe not Hawaiian because Steve doesn't like Hawaiian.
No,
right. But we could do meat lovers, but with extra cheese, extra sauce. Because if you don't say that, for those people who don't get Domino's, they wouldn't know. Domino's puts cheese on top of their pizza as like a person who has never made a pizza before. They're just like, oh, let me see if I sprinkle a little. Oh, I think that's enough, right? And the way they put their sauce is like they take a little bit of sauce, a little bit of sugar, and they just spread it over the pizza. I want them to just dump it. Yeah.
And with that disgusting story, I think try to call him.
Okay. Oh.
Well, if you guys enjoyed yourself, you can always at Creativity Level 0 on YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. But our Instagram is creativity_level.
You're breaking up there, so just say it again.
Oh, great. Okay. If you guys enjoyed us, you can always find our podcast on the podcast channel and YouTube and Twitter. We're Creativity Level 0.
Yep.
But our Instagram is creativity_0.
Yep. You broke up again, but people can see it on the screen, so we're fine.
Okay, sure.
Steve is literally chopping up right now, so yeah, it's Instagram is creativity_level_0 the number sign.
All right. I hope you did it right.
You couldn't hear me either.
No. See you guys.
Bye.